All right, guys, so what we're going to cover today is how to be able to advertise your listings on Facebook, and then how to maximize your dollar. So I'm going to talk about a few different things. Because everybody here in the call is from eXp, I'm going to talk about how to use KV Core and be able to use the tools that are there. If you don't have KV Core, just use your own website. Hopefully your own website has the ability to be able to capture leads. If not, message me and I can give you some other options and alternatives that you can use for that. But in the meantime, let's get into this. So I'm going to share my screen. All right, now I'm just going to shift over. There we are. All right, we'll open up KV Core same time. So Ads Manager, once we create a Facebook business page, and that's essential to be able to do ads, we have to have a Facebook business page. Once we've created the Facebook business page, we can go to business.facebook.com/ads manager. We can just see up here, and that's going to bring you to this section, okay? What we're going to talk about today is a few different things and the ways to advertise it, but it's basically going to run, they're all going to be the same in where we go from. So this is KV Core. What I'm always going to do is suggest that you're going to create a squeeze page. So we need to have this link up front so that we can embed it into the Facebook ad. So once again, if you don't have KV Core, I'm just going to grab any random listing off the internet right now, or off MLS right now. Be aware that if you're going to advertise somebody else's listing, the best bet is to give them a call, okay? Call would be something like this. Hey, Gary, it's Jason Beattie calling with eXp Realty. You have 16 Oakcrest Terrace on the market right now. Can you tell me about it? It looks pretty good. They tell you about it, and you say, you know what, I don't have a buyer for it right now, but I'd love to be given an opportunity to advertise it, get it out to different individuals through Facebook. Do you have any objection to me advertising? Most of the time, the realtor, so long as they're even-keeled and easygoing, they're going to say, sure. Now, the reality is most sellers, if you went to any seller and you said, look, would you mind if all 3,500 realtors that are currently on the market advertise your home? The seller would say, of course not. Please go ahead. Okay, so the seller is probably not going to have an issue. Most of the time, the realtor's not. Depends on the market that you're in Canada. I don't know what it's like in Saskatchewan. I know in BC, you can't double-end properties. And so other realtors would love for you to go find the buyer for it. So it all depends on the market that you're in and what's there. Once you get the okay from the realtor, I always follow up with a quick text or an email. Hey, Gary, Jason just wanted to follow up. You're okay with me advertising 16 Oakcrest. I will always promise to update them. I'll let them know sort of the activity that's occurred from it. And I give them a timeline. So I would say, I'm going to advertise it for a week. I hope that works, especially if I know it's a hot property, okay? So it has particularly unique clickbaity characteristics. Does that make sense, guys? Yeah, okay. So in this case, I'm going to pull up Julian's, and all I need is the MLS number. So I can just capture it from here, but you can also capture it anywhere in the listing. So then what we do is we go to lead engine. I'm just going to show everybody how to create this ad. I'm not actually going to run the ad. So I'm not going to bother Julian right now. And obviously these should be things that you should be doing with your own listings. I guess I could have grabbed one of my own MLS numbers too. But I'm a big believer in not only advertising my own listings, but also lead generating using other listings on MLS. But please always get the okay, and then it just alleviates any potential for issues. Don't forget, every jurisdiction has different rules. Some can't advertise anybody else's listing. Some you can, so long as you acknowledge who the broker is in the comments. So make sure you're abiding by any guidelines that are in your area. So when we get to the IDX squeeze page, there's 4 options to be able to create a squeeze page. Multi-property, an example would be all 3-car garages in this neighborhood. Okay, so we could create a squeeze page that when they click on the link, it automatically pulls up all 3-car garages in that neighborhood. Single property squeeze page is what we're going to do right now. So I'm just going to go right there. Type in your source. The source is just for tracking. I always just use FB for Facebook. Now hashtags in KV Core, when we do a hashtag, this is a way for us to organize the listings, okay, or organize the leads. So one of the hashtags that I will always do is the MLS number. A second hashtag, because this was in St. Albert, I would say they are a St. Albert buyer. Now the hashtags help me allocate the way or the characteristics of this buyer. If this ad was going to speak about a spectacular kitchen, then I probably would say a St. Albert buyer, a kitchen buyer as well. Okay, because I want to be able to have as many different ways that I can get back to them. A simple example is if this ad was all about the kitchen, I would allocate them as a hashtag as a St. Albert kitchen buyer. Then as I'm out showing properties, if I saw another killer kitchen, I would automatically send a text to all St. Albert kitchen buyers of this cool property that I just looked at. And it allows us to leverage our ability to be able to contact many people throughout the day and have it laser focused in our messaging, because we know this buyer came in on a kitchen ad, so they must love kitchens. Is that a fair assumption? Yeah, okay, perfect. Listing ID we need to put in. Now, this is where we decide how soon we want them to register on our website. Okay, is it going to be immediately? Like as soon as they come on, before they get any information? Are we going to let them look at a few listings, or are we never going to ask them to register? I come from this perspective. If it's my listing, I think my seller would be a little frustrated and pissed off with me if he's paying me thousands of dollars to market the home and I won't allow somebody to see the information on the home if they want to see it, right? They would have to give me info, and sometimes that creates a barrier. And so it's my belief that my seller doesn't want any barriers. So if it's my listing I advertise, I set never. If it's somebody else's listing that I advertise, I set it up immediately. And then we just come down here, we generate a link, and it gives us a link. Okay, so we've done that section. So now I'm going to go to Ads Manager. When I go to Ads Manager, I'm going to create an ad. It's the green button. And I want to create a new campaign. Because we're real estate, we need to say we're creating a campaign for an ad in a special ad category, and then we would declare it as housing. Okay. Basically, Facebook wants to make sure there is no opportunity for discrimination. So then we get to choose what kind of ads we want to do. Our biggest bang for the buck is always going to be a video ad, okay? The reason why the video ad is so efficient is, number one, it has greatest interaction. Number two, we're able to say with a video ad that we don't want to pay for somebody to have this ad put in front of them unless they've watched 10 seconds. Okay, so we will pay as soon as they watch 10 seconds. So that means we have better retention on it. Typically, you're going to pay between 2 and 5 cents for every 10-second view. So for every dollar, you're going to get between 20 and 50 people watching. Okay, but as you get good at cleaning up your ads, my last open house ad, I was getting for 1/3 of a cent per 10-second view. So you're creating better quality copyright, you're creating better quality videos, and so therefore more people are hanging out and watching it. With more people watch it, then Facebook says, okay, we're going to make it cheaper. And it's not just the more people watch it, but it's a ratio of the number of people they put it in front of to the number of people that watch it. Does that make sense? So I'm going to set up a video one because I'm a big believer in the video ads. If you don't have a video, download on your phone Quick, Q-U-I-K, and create a video just using photos from the home. Okay, it's so simple to do. It will take 3 minutes maybe, and away you go. If you guys have any questions too, just let me know, because I can stop along the way. So envision a campaign. So envision these ads. First of all, we're going to create the outer folder. And so the outer folder, I may say, is 123 Main Street. I don't worry about campaign optimization right now. It's something that we can get into later. So now we've got the outer folder, which is the campaign. The inner one may be an open house ad, for example. So what we're saying is we've got a folder for 123 Main Street, and then we're gonna have different folders inside the campaign. One for an open house, one for just regular advertising. So we can determine audiences, okay? So right now what I'm going to do, because this was St. Albert, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it, what was the price range on it? I didn't even see. Let me just quickly. So what I want to do is I want to break down and I want to create an avatar. Okay, so when I refer to an avatar, I'm looking for the type of buyer that probably is going to want to buy this home. Okay, so St. Albert buyer, St. Albert's suburbia in Edmonton. And so a St. Albert buyer probably is somebody that already lives in St. Albert. Oh, it looks like we got a half duplex bungalow. Let me just confirm. Yeah, okay, so it is a bungalow. So all of a sudden, what's my avatar going to be with that? More than likely, they're going to be a little older. Maybe I want to be laser focused and I want to talk about downsizers. If we look, I'm assuming, just looking at the backyards, that there's going to be a homeowner association fee or a condo fee, because it looks like all the lawn is all taken care of and the yard work, etc. I'm just going to double check. Doesn't say anything about age restriction. But I am going to be heading towards that demographic. So my avatar probably is going to be 60 plus in St. Albert. And I want to make a note that in my copy, I want to talk about it being under 490. And I want to look, I want to make this clickbaity. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about a unique feature or two. So sorry, I'm just going to look through. So we see a lot of upgrades. Huge pantry, large master. Fully finished basement. I was checking to see if it's walkout. It's not. Okay. And we got another bedroom in the basement. Okay. So pictures are done. So now what I'm going to do, so for avatar, I just start at the top and work my way down. Okay, location, we obviously don't want to advertise to all of Canada, but we do have the ability to advertise to everybody in St. Albert. So I'm just going to click here. Oh, shoot. So with Facebook's new, the special category, we have to pick a location and go 15 miles around, okay? Facebook will not allow us to have it inside or less than that. And so we can see the pin is there and it's 15 miles. If we tried to do anything less, you'll see it'll kick us back to 15. Okay, so that's something fairly new in Canada. It's been going on in the States for a while. Because we have an adult living type of environment, that distance doesn't bother us at all. Oh, yeah, that's something else that they've changed in the ad category as well, okay? So we can't determine the age. So this is where I would do two things, okay? I'm gonna do an ad first that talks to them, and it would just be a video, okay? So this is the power and how we can get around this, okay? First of all, we have to shorten or make the group smaller. So what I would do is I would do an ad, I would put it out to everyone, and I would start out, what I want to do is I want to create 10 seconds where they have every chance to acknowledge that they're not thinking about downsizing. Because if they get off before the 10 seconds, then I know I don't want to remarket back to them. If they've watched the video for 10 seconds, then what I want to do is remarket these sort of properties to them. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a video. And the video is going to start something like this. It's going to be, where am I going to go? Okay. So it'd be something like this. Are you considering downsizing? Are the stairs getting to you and all the yard work? You know, we got snow around the corner and it's a crazy time. What I'm going to do is share with you a couple quick tips on how to prepare your home when you're getting ready to downsize. My name is Jason Beattie. I'm your realtor with eXp Realty, because your move matters. So that typically is going to take up about 10 seconds. Because I've addressed it in the beginning, hey, if you're thinking about downsizing, you know, your knees are giving out on the stairs, you don't want the snow, any of that sort of thing. What I can do then is assume that anybody who's watched beyond me introducing myself is interested in that information for downsizing. Does that make sense? So then I would run that ad first to everybody. And then I would retarget this ad on the specific property back to that one, to the people that watch that. Does that make sense? Yeah. Are there questions?
Yeah, I've got a question, Jason. About like you can track who watches past that 10 seconds and then Facebook captures that, and then you can target just to those people specifically?
That's correct.
Cool.
So that's where I've been telling Gary that he needs to think about running ads for investors, because he's going to be able to acquire a large list of people that are thinking about investing in real estate. Okay. Now you don't get the list. Facebook wants you to pay for that list every time you want to run an ad, but you can generate that list. And so that's where a little bit of copywriting planning up front is really powerful. Right? That first 10 seconds, you want to give them every excuse not to hang around. And we're so good at scrolling up and down that it happens quickly. Okay? So what I would do, so for the first ad, I probably wouldn't do St. Albert. Okay? Because that first retirement ad is something that once I've captured the entire city and surrounding area, then that is there. And I would just run that ad forever at $1 a day. Just getting new people to watch 10 seconds or more. Okay, at $1 a day, I'm going to get between, well, most people will get between 20 and 50 new people every day in that list that we then can remarket to. Okay, as you become more efficient in your videos and you send them out for a long enough period of time, it will drop those costs. Okay, So we're just talking about roughly, if you were to budget today, worst case scenario, it's 5 cents per video view. Every dollar you spend is about 20 new people in the list. Also keep in mind, this dollar that I speak of is US. So in Canadian, it's $1.44 or so right now. So what I'm going to do is show you how to run that original ad. And what I would do is Edmonton. And I may even take it beyond the 50 miles, because all I'm trying to do is create a database right now. Does that make sense, guys? Okay. So now I can choose people living in the area or recently in this location, just people that live in this area, people that have recently been in the area. Now this can be really powerful, okay? Because we have the ability to say somebody who lives in Sherwood Park, but recently been in St. Albert, we can advertise specifically to them, saying, are you thinking about moving to St. Albert? Right? It could be everybody that has recently been in or traveled in St. Albert, but doesn't live there. So then we can speak directly to them and get the message laser focused. Go ahead.
How does Facebook know that, okay, somebody's been in St. Albert? Is it just through their tracking and stuff like that? GPS?
Oh yeah. Facebook knows a lot about you, and they collect a lot of information about you through your phone. Okay, so if you have your phone and you have your Facebook app on your phone and you haven't taken a bunch of security precautions, they know a lot of what you're doing. Okay. Which to me is kind of creepy, but then at the same time, I can't be judgmental because I like using it on the sales side. So it's one of those oxymorons, and so I'm just like, yeah, okay, I can live with this. So I'm going to say, I just want people that live in this location, because I really don't want, I don't want my marketing to be wasted on somebody that's in town from Saskatoon, for example, or from Calgary, and they're never going to move here. Does that make sense? Now, something else you could do, though, is you could say that people that are just visiting in this area, your message can be, are you in town and is it time to move here for your grandkids? So you can appreciate how I get goosebumps when I talk about this, because we can get laser focused in our marketing. And as we talk to that person, we can get into the emotional aspects, right? Hey, grandma, feels good to hang out with the grandkids this week. Is it time to move here? Here's an option. Okay, so now as I scroll down, sorry. So I'm not going to change any of the demographic information. Okay, we're going to allow it all to sort through and select its own. What Facebook is also going to do is they want to increase the dollars that they make. So what they want to do is they want to get you in front of more like people. So if you just randomly chose 100 people, you wouldn't have a great cross section of what you're looking for. But over at $1 a day, over 6 months, all of a sudden you have what, somewhere around 4,000 people in the list. So they've been able to see the characteristics that match in those 4,000, and they're probably going to put you in front of people that are more like those 4,000. So you're going to find naturally that your conversion rates are going to increase, because they use a logic test. They say, well, if these 4,000 people watch 10 seconds of that video, and somebody else is very similar to those 4,000, same age group, same area, same, you know, they like watching the same cat videos, whatever it is, then more than likely they're going to watch your video. So we're going to put them in front of more of those people. So that's where you're going to be careful, though, when you're messaging. Don't confuse your messaging in the first 10 seconds. There's a lot of realtors that I've worked with that have been really vague in that first 10 seconds. and then all of a sudden around 14 or 15 seconds is when they start to lose people, well, you've just muddied the water for your retargeting ability, because they think that those people that are watching at least 10 seconds are the ones that you want, okay? So really be clear. And if you watch ads on YouTube, there's a lot of guys that are doing ads, just talking video ads on YouTube, for example, and they say, if you're not looking to win $1 million, then don't watch this video. You know, they'll just literally come out and try and get you out. So then I scroll down to placements. In my mind, for something like this, I'm going to allow Facebook to do the placements wherever they want, because I'm trying to gather the database, and Facebook wants me to spend my money. So I'm going to believe that their algorithms are going to be better than my guessing of what works better or not. Is that fair? And that, once again, is assuming that I've done the right messaging in the video. Budget. So per through play is going to be for 10 seconds. Once they've watched 10 seconds of the video, I'm going to pay. And I'm a cheap bastard, so I'm going to spend $1 a day. Okay. My account is US, so it's $1. If you're just starting your account now, it will be probably $1.44. You'll type in the dollar, it'll say it needs to be a minimum of this. The reason why it varies is the exchange rate. Make sense? You can set start times and end times. I don't, okay? On a video like this, I'm just gonna let run forever. If it runs for 365 days, I've got a whopping budget of 365. What is that? 2 newspaper ads? And the newspaper ad I can never retarget back to. And that's a local community ad of just 1 house ad. But then I'll never know who looked at it, and I can never retarget back to them. Okay, so I had titled this open house. Let me change it, because we're actually doing a downsizer ad. So any questions on this section? No? You're good, Brad? Okay. So now this is where we get to the nitty gritty about the particular ad, okay? So we said, in this one, we had said 123 Main Street was what we called it in the beginning. I probably would title it retargeting ads. And so I'll go back and change that. Here, why don't we do that right now? So I'm going to go back. I'm going to title the main folder retargeting ads. Then we're going to talk about adult living or downsizing ads. So here, you can see I've already done some retargeting, specifically with COVID. So just to explain what I did there is I said, hey guys, COVID's going on and you're thinking of downsizing. You have all kinds of major concerns. Can I sell my home in this market? Can I sell it safely? What I'm going to do is go over the 3 top questions that I get right now for seniors that are thinking about downsizing, want to move into that adult living bungalow, but have all kinds of thoughts, concerns, fears. My name is Jason Beattie. I'm your realtor with eXp Realty, because your move matters. The reality is whatever I say after that doesn't matter. Right? Do we understand that? The content that I say after that can be anything. I could just be talking about bananas and they're like, you told me you were going to talk about this, if I'm focused on the retargeting. So don't worry about the quality of the content after. I still suggest you keep it on topic, right? Don't be some crazy dude talking about cars when you've already told them you're going to give them these 3 answers. But don't worry about the quality of the information you're providing after. Just provide the information, because once they've watched the 10 seconds, then you're good to go. Okay, so I've changed that to retargeting ads. I'm just going to label it as test so I know that it's not one of my retargeting campaigns. So then I've got my downsizer ad, which we just went over. Oh, something here on the side that I didn't touch base on. Okay, audience size. We want to make sure that there's a large audience size. If your audience size is too small, it's going to fall inside this red area and it's not going to allow you to do the ad. Okay, it's not likely with the new structure that Facebook has put in that we're going to be able to worry about that. So that's going to be really rare. What this will do is it's going to say for the $1 a day you're spending that we have down here, the $1 a day you're spending, there's a good chance that we're going to put your video in front of 100 to 300 people. Okay, so they're not guaranteeing how many of them are going to watch it because I pay per watch, but they say based on our experience, you should be between 100 and 300. Okay, because my account is efficient, they're thinking they're going to get in front of a lot more people than what yours will appear. Don't panic to begin with if you have a new account or you haven't been doing a lot of ads. If this number is small, it's only because they don't know what to expect from you. Does that make sense? Okay. So then we go on to the next. So then we go on to the specific ad. So the ad name. Let's say I have an ad that says, hey, are your knees giving out? Time to move to an adult living bungalow. Then, I would title it as such. So then if we scroll down, we can put in our business page. My business, so I mentioned that I would talk about business pages. My business page, I don't believe that having your business page is Joe Brown, Calgary's #1 realtor, is the best way to do this, okay? Because then the only time we're gonna have interaction on our business page is if people want to talk to Joe Brown, Calgary's #1 realtor. So I do it a community and lifestyle page. Okay, so it's not just homes on there. I have articles about the different communities around Edmonton. If I see a news clipping that I think, so for example, today there was a newspaper article in the Edmonton Journal that spoke about, what they talk about, all the high-end retail stores moving out of the downtown core and moving into West Edmonton Mall. I shared it. I didn't even read the article. I read the headlines, put in the comments, what do you think downtown's going to look like in 2021? And then left it because I'm just adding content and that just happens on my phone. I always go through Google Now, look at news to try and see, if I have some downtime, I want to see what's going on. If there's something that I think is broad enough, I'll just drop it into the business page. Also at KV Core, we have a tool called Homekeeper. Those of you that don't use Homekeeper, watch the video to see how to use Homekeeper. I'll have that on my the Real Estate Hustle YouTube channel. Homekeeper is a unique tool because it will also automatically upload blog posts for you, branded for you in Facebook as well. So that's another way that we can add content. Something else I would do is continuously put these squeeze pages in your business page. So that would be an example of if you don't have enough listings, you got say 5 listings going on and you don't want to keep putting the same listing on every day, that's where you would call the other realtor. If you don't want to pay for an ad, at least get them into your business page. Okay, and you can direct them through. Okay, so that's the business page that I have. Then I'm going to want to add my Instagram account. Okay, should Facebook think it is going to be effective to advertise on Instagram, I'm okay with that. Okay, so then we would create an ad. We have the ability to create an ad, use an existing video post that's already posted on our Facebook, or we can create something. So I'm just going to grab a post that's already there. It's only going to allow me to use, allow me to use 1 go, select post. When it comes up, it's only you're gonna see some of these aren't highlighted or aren't dark. They're shadowed, and that's because they're not videos. And I'm just gonna grab any random video that I have in there. Okay, here's an example of an open house in Lindrum. I'm gonna grab this. So I do 2 different types of open house ads. Actually, you're gonna see shortly another video added about virtual open houses. I'm just doing some training in the world. So in eXp world, there'll be a training this week on virtual open houses, and I will be adding a video on that. But in it, I talk about 2 different types of open house ads. One are videos. One is literally just me there, a recording of me saying, hey, one of your neighbors is having an open house, come check it out. It's probably the only 4-bedroom bungalow with the bedrooms above grade in Lindrum, and it's 1,500 square feet, which is super rare because the average bungalow in this neighborhood is about 1,200 square feet. Come check it out on the weekend. When I do the ads, I'm very vague. I will not give too many details. I want it to be clickbait, and I want them to click the link that you saw me create earlier. Does that make sense? Okay. So I've selected this. So we can tweak the post. And so I generally only do open houses 2 times, or at 2 certain specific locations in the life of the listing. Number 1, the first weekend it comes on, and number 2, after we've done repositioning. And by reposition, I mean price reductions. Okay, reposition ourselves in the market. I won't do an open house because the listing's been on 3 months and they refuse to reduce the prices and overprice turkey. Okay, it just doesn't make sense for me in my marketing plan. So this is an example of how open house in Lindrum this weekend for a home just coming on the market on Friday. Message me for details. Because it's not on the market, I don't have the squeeze page link yet. Okay, but what I normally would do is paste the squeeze page link in here, and then it would go from there. And you know what, if I changed to the other post, it probably shows, I think the other open house ad has that link. No. There you go, this has a link in it. I'll just use this one. So this is the second type of video, is I use Quick to generate videos. But once again, clickbaity, very rare, under 300, 3-bedroom bungalow, Glen Allen, view link for details. We don't need to say too much. All I'm looking for here is that first-time home buyer that doesn't want to spend a lot of money. Okay. So then as we go through, we can add video captions. If you're speaking in the video, I highly recommend you add video captions. Okay. Click the call to action in there as learn more with that video, with that link to the listing. And this bottom part is really important, Facebook pixel. If you don't have a pixel on your KV Core website, get it in there, okay? This is what allows us to retarget to people that have been to our website. So we talked about retargeting to people that watch the video. Okay, so the people that watch the video, that's great. They maybe watch the video and go, you know what? Yes, I'm looking for an adult living bungalow, but that one doesn't work. So they don't click through. We can advertise to them. But if they click through and visit our website, we can also run other ads to them, to people that have been to our website. Does that make sense too? So we have different types of retargeting. So then as soon as I hit confirm, your ad will be done. I'm just going to make sure it's not running.
So Jason, with the Facebook pixel, does that lead the person to the squeeze page on
No.
KB
Well,
Plus?
it can, the pixel just is anybody who's been to your website. Oh, shoot. Here, I hit the wrong one. There we go. Oh, no, I did the wrong one again. Yeah, wait for it to stop jumping around. So I just want to turn this one off here before I forget. Okay, so no, what a pixel does is a pixel basically it tags you. So Gary, if you were on my website, it would tag you as somebody that came to my website. That's what the pixel does. So then I can market back to you for the next 6 months. Okay? So that's all the pixel does. It basically tags you as somebody that's been to my website. Now I'm going to quickly show you how to get to that second video that we're retargeting back to the people that have acknowledged that they want adult living. Okay, so then I go back to special ad categories. I want to get back down to videos. So then this is where I'm going to do 123 Main Street, which is that listing that we created the squeeze page for. Open house, 1, 2. Main Street. And this is where I want to create a new audience, okay? And I want to create new here. So last time we skipped over it and just tried to tweak some info down here. In this case, because we're retargeting to, we want to create a custom audience. And this is where it gives us the options. Okay, so do we want to target this to people that have been to our website? Do we want to target this to people who, Gary, I talked to you about creating a customer list of all the emails that you had in KV Core, and then we'd be able to upload it into this customer list. So you could actually advertise saying, hey, I'm Gary, I'm the best investment realtor in Canada. You want to use me, check out my website here, or whatever you want. So you could retarget that back to the people that gave you their email addresses. Does that make sense, Gary? Okay. What we're doing right now is we're retargeting to the video. So we're looking for people that engaged. Now we can actually choose people that have watched almost the entire video if that was important to us. Okay. For me, I just want 10 seconds because I've geared my ad for them to eliminate themselves within 10 seconds. So they've watched at least 10 seconds. I want to choose a video. Oh. And then it will be targeting back to that video that we chose, right, on the post. Let's say it was this one. There we go. So do you understand this step? That video would be the one that I'm there speaking, saying, if you're tired of doing yard work and stairs and everything, then here's the 3 top questions that I'm getting right now. My name is. So I've selected that. In the past, oh, it'll allow me to do a year now. Okay, it used to only be 180 days. So it only used to be 6 months. The reality is, well, because they're downsizers, they could be at the early part of the decision. So I'd have to decide, where I want to catch them in this. I'd probably, if my numbers aren't huge, I'd probably pick anybody that's been to it the last year. Okay, if my numbers are massive, then I know that if I'm only going to get 20 to 50 people to watch the video every day, I probably just want the people that have been most active. Does that make sense? Okay, then I'm going to check, select the audiences. Sorry, my computer's lagging now. Downsizing. I can get into a more detailed description if I want, but now I've just created that audience. Now, Facebook doesn't know all the characteristics on that audience instantly, so they said, okay, we're going to create one. Don't panic over here when we see the reach under 10, because they have no idea what the audience looks like. Okay, so they have to go back, gather the audience, gather the profile. We don't worry about that. And then you just go through the exact same steps that you did. Okay. So this is where we know that the people that are in this group only live in that area. So we don't even have to worry about where they are in Canada. Okay. We don't have to worry about ages. We don't have to worry about anything like that. Placement, once again, place it wherever. Because it's our listing that we have an open house coming this weekend, maybe we want to go to a whopping $2 a day. Now with this, because it was an open house, I'm going to set an end date. I'm going to start it now, and I will end it. If my open house is 2 to 4, I am going to end it at 2 o'clock. Okay, just because I want the biggest bang for the buck. Oh, but I don't want it October 25th. I want it September 27th. Okay, so it runs till Sunday at 2 o'clock with my open house starting at 2. I know that because I can look down here. It's going to cost me $12.42. Brad, do you do open houses? When was the last time you spent $12.42 on an ad?
Never.
But what this means is for $12.42, you have between 40 and 100 people a day watching the video. Over 6 days, between 300 and 600 people roughly, okay? So it can be really powerful, especially as we have these separate groups for retargeting that we get back into. Because if it's an adult-only bungalow, our conversion rate is going to be much higher if we only advertise to the people that are downsizing. Now, if we don't have a post already, if we didn't already do a post, then all we're going to do is upload a video. Okay, we just add video. We can upload it or use one that we already have. Let's just randomly select. Okay, it's the same video. Oh, try again. But then as we go down, because it's not a post, we have the ability now to change all the text. Okay, so we can decide what we want the primary text to be. We can add a website URL. So once we add the website URL, we're adding this lower portion. It's going to appear here. Headline. Bungalow open house. Description, whatever you want to type. The website URL is where we would paste in this link here from the squeeze page. Just copy it. It's copied, back to the ad. Paste it in here. I always try and preview the URL. Okay, I want to make sure I know where it's going. That the link is working and I've done everything right. Sorry, it's just taking a second. Looks like it's the right one. Yeah. Now, see here where it says My RE. I would much rather have it appear as my website. We can, yeah, so as soon as I get out of there, that'll auto-populate. I apologize, my computer is lagging for some reason all of a sudden. Then we have a call to action. It's the button that's here. I find learn more is probably the most appropriate. Yeah, we can see my website is updated. And then away we go. Always remember to keep your pixel on. Any questions on how that's done? I kind of ran through this quickly because the first section was where the power is. This second section of the ad is so easy to do. We can also see how it would appear in the different locations. Okay, so you can just pop through and decide how you want it, or let's say, what's it going to look like on Facebook stories? So it'll show us what it's going to look like. And Facebook will determine where you're getting the greatest 10-second views. Okay, and then they will keep it going. So any thoughts, questions on that?
Lots of thoughts and questions.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to watch it again a couple of times, I think. My first biggest question is, how did you get from, like, how did you get to that place where you want to create your ad?
Ads Manager. So I had given you the link, business.facebook.com/Ads Manager.
Yeah.
I'm going to drop that link in chat. Okay. So that should take you to your Ads Manager page. You have to have a business account to be able to get in there though. Okay. And that's where you put in your credit card and all that.
Okay. I'll have to find that then too.
Another way you can go there is to, if we go to your business page. Oh, I guess I should share the screen, sorry. That may make it easier for you. If you go to your business page, up at the top right, if we go to create, we can also create ads right out of there. Wow, I got a real lag going on here. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so create post story life page ad. So you would just click on ad and it will take you into how to, or the section to do the ads as well. We also can go to Ad Center, which is a little bit different. Okay, I don't want to confuse you with too much info. So if we just stick with that Ads Manager, that probably is going to give you, yeah, just the easiest way to be able to put the ads in, gather information on it. It's a little more detailed way of doing it, but at the same time, it's going to give us that ability, that flexibility that we talked about, where we can create the one ad and then retarget back to it, etc. Any other questions? Anything you'd like solved here before we run? Nope.
Nope.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
Well, those who watch the video, thanks. Please like, comment, share. Don't hesitate to hit the subscribe button. We'll be adding all kinds of training on over the next 90 days. And yeah, just enjoy the lead generation and altering your business. We'll talk to you soon.